I'm so mad. Shoopa recently PFC'd Chromatic Burst, one of the BPL songs, not doing any of the turns. And the whole point of the chart is to do the turns.
It's only stupid if it doesn't work, and it works.
It's also stupid if it works. So Anaheim.
But that PFC though.
Anaheim, based on what we kind of know about shocks, because nobody 100% like really knows how they work, and if they tell you they're due, they're probably wrong. Prior to World, it was about the size of the Great Window prior to the shock. So 8-ish frames that if you were touching any of the arrows for even a single frame, it would go off. Now it seems like it's more centered on the shock window, like because there is a little bit of period after it that you can still hit it. So it's like maybe the size of the perfect window now. And it's definitely not a single frame anymore.
Yes.
It's, you know, a couple of frames that you have to be hitting something continuously. So it's like the opposite of a freeze arrow. Like you have to be holding it instead of releasing it. So again, you know when you hit it now, because you were holding onto that arrow for a couple frames and you weren't even close to getting off of it. Whereas before, you know, a quick little flicker or misfire could set it off.
All right, so we got Kitsunny, we got Mia versus BOGO. As we get ready to warm up with Boss Rush, we are in that upper part. So the warm-ups are also going to start to be a little bit spicy, and I know Kim over there is very happy that we finally get to hear Boss Rush in the tournament. While not in the card draw, more so just on the warm-up. Song bangs, I'm just saying. Shout out to Usao for blessing us with this heater to be in this game. So, Kim, I know, as I was just saying, I know you're very happy to finally be hearing the beautiful song that is Boss Rush.
Oh, I'm so happy to be hearing Boss Rush. And I hope you all are ready to, happy to hear my beautiful voice again on commentary.
Welcome back, welcome back. I saw that you got some of them tacos. You got some nom noms.
I did. There was no tortillas left, so I just kind of had a loose taco.
Oh, I mean, you know, one person's loose taco is another person's burrito bowl at the end of the day.
You know what? I actually prefer eating stuff with a fork, so it's way less messy than trying to use my hands anyway, so I'm not complaining.
All right, so right on. I mean, so speaking of messy, girl, look at this. We started off with Tokyo Shinwa, protected by BOGO, Chinese Snowy Dance, protected by Kitsunny, and I Love You as a tiebreaker because of 3. Kitsunny rejecting Trip Machine, Zach Nanoglide, and BOGO rejecting New York A.
Not a lot of good choices here. Chinese Snowy Dance and I Love You being the most straightforward out of the set that's been drawn. Tokyo Shinwa definitely got some tricky bits to it, so I'm interested to see how that goes for these competitors.
Yeah, I'm curious to look at the scores. You know, despite that they are definitely 100% different in the world, you can still kind of get a little bit of a grasp as to what their history is with the song. Around the time that this came out and before we promoted over to A3, Tokyo Shinwa was still relatively on the newer side of the song.
All right, I'm sorry, folks, this was a warm-up.
BOGO.
Do you see what just happened on the right side of your screen?
Bro, why are you just going to rip 29 on Boss Rush?
Like, that's not a song that you just play.
And then he hops off the pad and just like does a little jog across the room.
Maybe he wasn't warmed up enough. Yeah.
What a flex from the man.
Just a casual 29 perfect PFC on Boss Rush first song of the day. No big.
Like, oh wow, is this what's
This is the caliber that we are at, Mario.
A sign of things to come. That warm-up wasn't enough, so he had to jog a little bit more. I mean, Tokyo Shinwa, to be fair, you do need to be kind of like checked in to play this song.
All right, this chart is it's got a lot going on. It's got a bunch of jumps, step jumps early on, which depending how you feel about step jumps and what kind of day you're having, you're either gonna like that or you're not. Whew. All right, I'm real excited to get this kicked off with this song.
Yeah, after that, like, let's go. You see, BOGO locked in, Kitsunny locked in. Here we go, y'all.
All right, let's get this match started. So DJ Techno is kind of a divisive artist, but I would say this is probably the most well-liked Technorch song. Not like we have too many to choose from in DDR, but we're going to start right away with these step jumps, and both of them seem like they're having no trouble whatsoever getting started with it. So I think Boss Rush was probably the good choice for a warm-up for both of them. And Mia picking up a couple greats over on her side, giving BOGO a little bit of room for a lead, but she is not far behind at all.
All right, but BOGO still sitting on this PFC. Absolutely insane. Both of them nailing that section right there.
Yeah, BOGO not giving any room for Kitsunny to catch up. And that just shows you the absolute prowess at this level of play that these players have.
All right, so BOGO still maintaining about a 30-point lead right now as we get ready to go into this slowdown.
BOGO still with a pretty healthy lead, but Kitsunny is doing really well. BOGO's just not giving any mistakes for Kitsunny to catch up with.
All right, so here we go into the final open section of the song. Kitsunny missing some of those the turns right there. Yeah, and I think Kitsunny's just going to go ahead and bracket.
Yeah, I think she realizes that BOGO's got this one in the bag, and she's trying to save her stamina for the next two songs. And BOGO's just going to rip off another PFC.
Are you kidding me?
Apparently, we all just need a PFC boss rush expert before we play anything else, and then that makes the rest of the day easier, right?
What the Sigma was all that stepping?
Like, that was just two about 700 note songs in a row that he PFC'd. That's a perfect or better on every single. That's almost 1,400 steps in a row where he got nothing but a perfect or marvelous.
BOGO BOGO clocked in for work today, y'all.
Sure did.
He is here to serve, but Kitsunny with the counter pick, with the protective Chinese snowy dance. Record at the time of this card shows that they are 6 perfect difference.
Oh,
so
yeah.
naturally, both of them have about the same amount of locked-in knowledge of this song. As you said,
Definitely.
it's pretty straightforward. But straightforward is not the same thing as simple. We're
Yes.
beyond that point in the
Definitely.
bracket now, where straightforward means like, oh, it's a pretty basic pattern, it's predictable. Not so much with Chinese snowy dance.
Very true. Also, I'm enjoying the messages from chat. BOGO getting a buy one, get one piff.
Oh, I like it.
Maybe that's where BOGO comes from.
Copy that and ship it. All right.
Yeah, so nothing too tricky about this chart, footwork-wise. Kind of just a little bit of a stamina check, but especially after the first two songs they played, I don't think either one of them is going to have too much of an issue with this.
Yeah, compared to those first two songs that they played, this is actually on the lighter side of the stamina.
Yeah.
It's just that this requires a little bit more of focus.
Right now, BOGO's only 1 EX ahead of Kitsunny.
Yeah, despite the fact that Kitsunny did pick up a great. Yeah, Kitsunny showing her expertise on this song is, even with that great, still locked in, and actually now 1 point
She's
ahead.
pulled ahead. This might be one of those ones that they just trade back and forth on. Yeah, BOGO a little bit in the lead right now.
White combo from both of them. BOGO picking up 2 perfects right before the freeze. Which gives Kitsunny now a 2-point deficit.
But you can just see how locked in both of them are. It's just their faces are so focused. BOGO's only at 4 right now. Oh, coming into the end, BOGO, they have a little bit more of a lead. Can you hold on? Oh, BOGO getting a miss.
Ooh, but still maintaining on the lead by just a couple of points.
Oh, and BOGO not letting up at all in the ending run. So he's going to take a win on that song as well.
All right, up by 16, 18-42 to 18-26 for Kitsunny.
No piff for BOGO. He already cashed in his buy one, get one on the first 2
Oh,
songs.
yeah,
but you
that
know
is
what?
true.
He took the math.
It may have been buy 1 piff, get 1 piff, or buy 1 piff, get 1 W. I tried, y'all.
You did your best.
They can't all be bangers.
See you next time on the dance floor.
Wow, these matches are just insane. I can't get over how incredible these matches
They are
are.
complimenting the warm climate of the day. These boys is.
They are on fire.
Oh, I'm gonna go and hydrate. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and do.
You do that. You go take care of yourself. We'll be right here waiting for you when you get back.
I'm gonna find someone. Hold on. Let me search through the crowd. Chat. Stay locked in. Stay locked in.
All right, so we're getting ready for our next match here. Looks like Miligram and Dan H. Dan H, I believe, was a promotion from the previous pool. So he's been on fire today, having a hell of a run. This will be Milligram's first time up for the day. See what he's got in stock for us. He's got the fire shorts on. Maybe that will give him some extra boost. But on the mic next to me here, I have Mr. Pat Ball joining me. Pat, say hello.
Hello. Hi. How's it going?
That's going well. How about yourself?
Oh, delightful. Yeah. I woke up a little bit late this morning, but other than that, I feel fine, you know. Seen some pretty amazing DDR sets today, though.
Right?
Yeah.
This has been insane. I'm so excited to be watching this today.
Yeah. I think we've had like 1-point games at least several times, and then like Tokyo Shinwa PFCs before our eyes.
Right.
You know, home favorite BOGO just like destroying Tokyo Shinwa, making it look easy.
Right. Home turf advantage, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Miligram up for the first time today. They're looking for a good warm-up song.
Yeah, flipping through the 15. Very comfortable as far as like, you know, if you're like digging into the uppers especially, like probably want to pick something harder to like warm up with to get used to it.
Oh, good classic. You're pretty familiar with this song, aren't you?
Yeah.
And why would that be?
You know, the Ohio DDR birthday challenge just gets you very, very acquainted with this song.
I mean, it worked in your favor. I do believe you had this PFC'd, am I correct?
Yeah.
That deserves a little pat on the back. A pat on the back for Pat Ball. Okay, so good classic song for a warm-up for these two players. We've seen Dan H before today. He's been having a hell of a run, so this is his promotion into the next pool. I'm excited to see how he performs in this next upper level.
Yeah, Dan has ridiculous discipline with the game. Just is remarkably good at marvelous attack, and like I just like he puts so much into just every time he plays the game, and I kind of just admire his play style a lot. He even gives like, you know, the old the leg pats beforehand and to like warm himself up, and like I actually think that's like really, really cool.
Yeah, really consistent player. It's really exciting to watch his MA.
Yeah. I found out recently that Miligram teaches, actually, had just gotten, I think has a job teaching music.
Really?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So he's got a pretty good musical background then.
Yeah.
I wonder if that helps him at all.
Yeah.
Miligram coming from the Philadelphia area. He's
Yeah.
on Team John / Team Wawa / Team Philly yesterday during our team battles.
Yeah.
You see him representing the shirt right there. Also, he claims he has 8 perfects on bag CSP, which is a pretty impressive feat in its own. So that would make sense why he was choosing Max 300 as his warm-up. Seems to be really comfortable with those old school songs.
Yeah.
But he does say he has extensive music training and background thanks to his kinesthetic timing. So shouts out to his music students at Hope Community Charter
Shout out to
School.
that vocabulary too. Love the word kinesthetic, actually.
That is a good word.
Yeah. I know Dan hails from Boston area.
Okay. So not too far from the Philly area. Kind of sister cities, maybe, if you will. Renala shakes his head no. I'm not from New England nor these. I don't know what people like over there. I just know they call Waterfront bubblers. I don't know. It gets all weird.
The first, though, protected by Dan H, the expert chart. So this is kind of just like an MA check for 17s.
Definitely.
on the low end. It's a lot of people's first in the 17 quarter. A lot of notes, very drill heavy, especially the that part.
Yes.
If you know, you know. Seeing a 5-point difference in PBs. DANH progressing from the previous pool. Probably just wanting something very straightforward.
Yeah, that's being one of the quote-unquote easier 17s with such good MA players as we have right here. I imagine that they're really going to dial into this.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I don't know if any of y'all in chat were watching this yesterday, but we had a mishap with the machine. The down arrow broke on the P2 side, and I was joking that we haven't even played BCSP yet. Hopefully we don't, because I don't want to have another mishap, even though we have a brand new arrow, but I just feel like I got like some superstitions in me now.
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting right off the bat here. Neck and neck between the two of them. I imagine it's going to be really close until we get to those drills near the middle end of the song. Okay, DANH up just by a little bit. See them both really focused, both up on their PBs right now.
PBs.
BBPs? I can't even say that. BPBs.
Yeah.
They're both very focused players.
Again with just a small lead going into the midsection.
Okay, now we're getting to the hallmark feature of the song. Look at the consistency between them. That's crazy. They are so dialed in. Oh, picking up a great over on Miligram's side.
Yeah, Dahn was ever so slightly ahead after the drill.
Yeah, this is just frightening MA through this. Oh, picking up a gray on Dan's side too, but he's still got the lead over Miligram. Oh!
And closes it out with 7.
Dan's gonna take that, but that was really close.
35 and 2, so 39, a minus 39 on Dan's side.
I keep commenting every time I see Dan play, but he does not have fast slow on, but he is such a good internalizer of sync that I don't think that would even help him. Like, he just is so on.
I wonder if it's Dan finds it distracting, or if maybe just don't have the setting turned on. Could be.
Yeah, I know personally I really rely on fast slow, and I think I'd have a really hard time playing without it now. So it's always fascinating to me to see players that don't use it or choose to do other things that we have modern fixes for now, like screen darkening that some players choose not to use.
Huh.
Okay, so Chad's saying, yeah, Dan wanted fast slow off. So I wonder if that does mess with him a little.
Probably.
Which, I mean, when you have such a good internal metronome as he does, then you don't really need it.
Yeah. We're getting into Vanquish the Ghost. Milligram's Protect. We're seeing a PSC PB to a 966, although that's probably a dated score on Dan's side.
Yeah, I have
I had to
that's
guess.
probably outdated.
Yeah, a lot of candle runs and crossovers the chart. And slowdowns too.
Yes.
It's got like 3 big checks.
Yeah, it was a 15 at one point. It was pretty quickly re-rated to a 16. Very crisp sounding steps for both of them.
Yo, you're going combo wombo. Keep up the perfect combo.
I imagine this is going to be neck and neck here until we get into some of the more trickier parts of the song. All right, here moving to our first slowdown here. Doesn't seem like it's affected either of them so far yet. Ooh, Dan picking up a couple misses. I think he misread something.
No.
Oh, he's hitting
got a
problems with his
cramp.
foot.
Yeah, I got a cramp.
All right. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's how it be sometimes. This chart is, you know, the crossovers in this, it's very unforgiving. If you miss one, you can lose EX very quickly on this chart because you'll just get like multiple misses on those multiple crossovers.
Yeah, doing really good though, but you know what? This is a physical game, and sometimes things happen that you're not ready for. It can happen to anyone.
Yeah, and playing from like the previous pool, it's like also like kind of a really hard stamina thing, especially if you're playing like uppers the entire time. You know,
Right.
gotta be feeling it.
And he's also had not a super significant rest period. He did have some downtime between his last pool and this, so sometimes it's almost harder to get moving again once you've cooled down. And I have to imagine that that could have played a part in it.
Yeah.
But we're 1-1 now, so we're going to be moving on to our third song, which is New Era Expert. We've actually seen this a couple times already today. Seems to be a fan favorite. Another one of those 17s that's pretty easy to lock into. Sync is very well on it. Not too difficult as far as 17s go, so if you're an MA player like these two definitely are, it seems like a good pick for you.
Yeah. Yeah, New Era, lots of turns that you could choose to do if you so desire. The chart is actually kind of fun to alternate.
Sure, it's slow enough that you could get away with double stepping a lot of the ending.
Yeah. I will say it's also like kind of a foot speed check. At the very end of the chart starts to get bursty and like could probably decide things if depending on how players are feeling about them.
Very similar scores from both their sides. I think this is going to be another really close call between the two of them. Yeah, hopefully Dan's got whatever happened with his leg worked out. And hate to see that. Which, just a reminder, folks, make sure you're hydrating. If you're exercising, get some electrolytes in you. Want to stay as healthy as you can. None of us are getting any younger. One of those charts with a lot of gimmicks, but both these players know this very well, so I don't see that tripping them up at all. One of those charts where the gimmicks just kind of flow. And it makes there's not a lot you really need to memorize because it just flows so well with the actual song.
Yeah.
But Dan's gone ahead with a little bit of a lead here. Looks like he's trying to give his arms a break any chance he can get, letting off the bar a little bit.
Miligram gets the first miss.
Yeah, Dan up 20, almost 30 EX now.
I crown you king, the combo king.
Okay, Dan up with a pretty good lead, almost 30. See if he can hold on to it as it gets to the harder part of the song with this ending run. Very clean during that slowdown. Okay, Dan up almost 40.
Yeah.
All right, coming into the ending run here. Couple greats on Dan's side, but he still has a pretty sizable lead over Miligram. All right, and Dan's going to take the win on that one for the match win. Looks like his leg cooperated just as much as he needed it to get through that.
And 37 and 3.
That's a pretty good score.
Minus 43 EX. Wow, that's a Flare EX clear on that.
It sure is.
Yeah, if we had it on this.
Right.
Shout outs to Flare EX. I do appreciate that change actually. In the new meta.
Yeah,
anyway.
you know, it's growing on me. It's just the way I look at it is it's like a new set of lamps to earn.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm a very visual person. I like to see all like the pretty lit colors when I'm scrolling through the song. So now I feel like I have to do it all over again with flare gauges. All right, we got Dan and Kitsunny getting ready for their match. One thing I have noticed. Oh no, we did get a fan. Okay, someone brought the fan out. We didn't have a fan yesterday, so I'm glad someone's found one.
Yeah. So Dan has fans. There was actually shout-outs to Kinfante. Actually had like the manual fans.
The manual. Oh, like the actual ones that you like open up and wave.
Yeah. Was showing them off a couple days ago, actually, as we were getting acquainted. New York B for song 1.
Okay, I think we had New York B come up earlier today. New Yorks are always a fun choice.
Yeah.
Notably pretty late. Kitsunny has a PFC on this. Dan, not sure if that's his accurate score or not, but this is a tricky chart. So interested to see how this fares for both of them.
Yeah, the New York evolves, all having their own sort of variation like all the other evolves. A in particular is the one with the half speed. We don't have to worry about that though. The display BPM will say 380, but most of the players at this point already know which New York evolved is the one
Right.
that actually is 380. But it's actually like 190, which is half of 380.
Yeah, but we were talking about Dan H's progression, but I also want to give a shout out to Kitsunny and her progression as well. She's been playing this game for 22 years. She's currently Onyx 3 in Life 4 that she just got over the summer, so huge shout out. That's a really, really big accomplishment. That's like almost one of the top levels in the Life 4 ranking system. She's been working on the 16 gold lamp and has 20 lefts, less than 20 lefts,
Oh,
as
wow.
well as the 17 AAA floor. So she's been putting in a ton of work, and it's really showing. Ooh, and taking a look at the rest of this card draw, this is a pretty rough card draw. After New York B, we're going to have Chaos HiTECH Challenge, which is a very, very tricky chart. But one thing at a time, let's get to New York B first. And both of them dialing into the sync pretty well, despite this being on the later side. Dan having some really clean runs through those 16th notes.
Yeah.
But Kitsunny only 2 EX in the lead so far. Now up by 3. Ooh, and a good over on Dan's side.
I think this is just possibly because of like, I'm wondering if there's any bracketing happening in this part in particular. Not seeing any.
Yeah, it's definitely a part where you don't want to get stuck turning in that part, because it'll definitely set you up wrong. You kind of have to double step that part right before the slowdown.
All right, we got Kitsunny up with a small 8-point lead going into the slow part.
Ooh, great over on Dan's side.
Still keeping close.
Oh, I'm picking up a miss over on Dan's side too. But otherwise, like, his MA is still very crisp. Okay, song's gonna really pick up here in the last half. Kitsunny with a pretty good lead. Like, it looked like Dan was starting to struggle, and I wonder if his leg's bothering him again, or if he's just, he's been playing a lot, so.
Yeah, I think it's just starting to catch up to him.
All right, and Kitsunny is going to take that one. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to really have any time to rest with the next 2 songs we're moving into. But Chaos HiTECH Challenge, this is, I'd say, one of the harder 17s out there. A lot of tech involved. So not only do you have the unique gimmicks that don't exist in the expert chart, it also is just very technical in the ways you need to move and position yourself.
Yeah, and very unfriendly chart actually, because not only do you have to like know the gimmicks of the chart, but you also have to know the chart itself, which is not very straightforward, to say the least. It's very grindy. You have to have a lot of chart knowledge to be able to execute it.
Yeah, a lot of knowledge in just reading it and also executing it. Like, there's a lot of turns in this chart that aren't really cheatable at all. You kind of have to follow along and know what you're doing. But this chart does have my favorite arrow in the entire game. It's that first down arrow, or it's down or up. I don't remember whether it was down or up. It's the arrow that shows up on the screen right at the beginning, and then it just stops and it hangs out there.
Yeah.
For like
the homie arrow.
a couple seconds.
It's the homie arrow.
So
He's our friend.
everyone wave. Say hi to the homie arrow.
Second stage.
There he is.
Hi.
Bye.
I do really appreciate this chart for what it's doing. It's just, it's too big brain for me, honestly.
Yeah.
I get what it wants me to do, but it's too much.
Yeah.
But it's really, really impressive to watch people execute this. And one of the interesting things that DDR started to do is kind of mark certain sections. So you have these really short freeze arrows that mark the stops in this chart. So it kind of gives you a little help, but not much.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this part coming up here is real tricky. You're just constantly turning this, and then it's going to kind of evolve through the different sections.
Yeah.
And DANH, I think it's just a bit
Too
too
bad.
much for him today. But he had a really, really good run. So give it up for him, everyone. And then give up for Kitsunny, who's going to take the win on that match. Well, I'm at least happy. I got to say hi to my favorite arrow. Does anyone else have a favorite arrow in the game? Like any particular arrow in the entire game?
I mean, we are at Dahn Dahn, right? So being from Pittsburgh, I'm kind of like biased to
Dahn.
liking Dahns and rights. But left is pretty good too.
But not up. Not up at all.
We're not up. Who's up? All right, so we got BOGO and David coming up. Or Miligram, excuse me. BOGO Miligram. This is like classic 2022 Dahn Dahn right throwback match right here. This was also for the crew battle too in Pittsburgh, Philly, so
Also, we got
very storied rivalry between the two.
double rivalry. Man, this is getting exciting.
Players are chugging their coffee, getting hyped up, getting excited. I am excited for this match personally. Probably just a little bit of commentary bias given the BOGO. But BOGO is like, oh my gosh, he PFC'd a 16 and a 17 earlier.
First song of the day.
Yeah, it's like scary, you know, just typical BOGO being BOGO. But he was actually like really, really anxious coming in, so.
Well, hopefully you got some of that anxiety out, because buy one, get one pips to start the day is pretty, pretty good. Okay, so they've both played so far, so this must be their first song of the match. I don't quite have the card draw ready for us yet, but we're getting that for you just a moment here.
Yeah, voltississimo, very much a foot speed check. Kind of, it basically comes down to like how well can you execute fast BPM and then the drill at the very end.
Right.
Basically just minimizing form is like really, really good for this.
Yeah, voltississimo, of course, Spanish for very volt. I'm just being silly, don't correct me, chat.
Game coming from Sound Voltex. Shout outs to Sound Voltex.
Yeah, this is from...
or is it not?
No,
it says Sound Voltex on the
No, it's from Voltex, but it was a crossover event where there was... you had to like vote for your favorite game, and then there was a song that got added into each game that gradually got added into the rest of the games. It's like where Troll Off Tree comes from, After Image de Automne. Midnight War was the ultimate song that went to every game at the end of that event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 225 BPM, kind of a weird BPM you don't see a lot of. But song thankfully doesn't have you moving around the pad too much at that speed, but definitely can be difficult to hone into your MA on some of these drills.
Neither player opting for mirror, by the way, which makes the ending drill start right.
Miss over on Milligram's side, but they're still very neck and neck. BOGO picking up a little bit of a lead over him. Okay, looks like BOGO up about, well, I can't do math right now, 13 EX or so. Yeah, the hallmark of the song is that left-right drill at the very end of the song that goes on for longer than you think it does.
Back first to 1000K.
BOGO's still up about 10 EX or so. Ooh, another miss over on Milligram's side. So coming down to the very ending of the song and how well they can execute it. Okay, here we're moving into the drill section after these 12 notes. And BOGO didn't give up enough for Miligram to catch up, so BOGO's going to take that win.
Almost PFCing that.
Almost.
48 and 1. Minus 50 EX. Woo.
That's a tough song to PFC. It's really hard to hone into that drill at the end.
Tough to PFC, let alone hold on to the drill at the very end. Getting a Flare EX pass on Voltissimo.
All right, so now we're going into a different New York Evolve. We saw New York B come up twice today. We're going to New York C.
NYC. Yeah, it's NYC.
Yeah. We're going to New York City, baby.
This is another one of the 190 BPM New York Evolves. Seeing a lot of that given it has 3 spots in the 16 quarter, which is not very big given the meta. A lot of like uppers were added to DDR recently, but they weren't really there when Ace 20 Club was. So we have like not very big folders as a result. So songs like New York Evolve take 3 spots in a card draw and have a higher chance of showing up. That's why we see a lot of the Evolves show up.
You know, I hadn't actually given them that much thought, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Unless they change the card draw app to like lump all of the Evolves together.
Wouldn't that be cool if they come up and you got to pick which one you want to do?
Yeah.
Then no one would ever play New York A.
Or
you might
Roppongi D.
I mean, there are some people who definitely are good at those and could keep them in their back pocket for a pick.
Yeah.
Might
Get
say a
into
pocket
it.
pick.
New York Evolve C.
All right, so we've seen New York come up today already. The first third and first half of the song is identical across all 3 charts, except for New York A, which is at half scroll speed for the first half. Oh, I'm sorry, I guess the same scroll speed, but then it does a speed double.
Yeah.
Okay, very close. BOGO's got a 7-point lead coming into this section. It's always really great getting to this level of play in a tournament too, and having that pad mic pick up just the crispness of the steps. It's so good to hear.
Yeah. BOGO drops a hole during the double step part.
Okay, giving Miligram a little bit of extra space to catch up to him, and they are very, very close. Okay, BOGO ups 8 over Miligram moving into this section. Both of them doing a pretty good job keeping the marvelous attack throughout the slowdown. This part can be a little tricky to time. You can hear some ghost stepping going on from one of the players.
I actually just love how this is charted. It goes so well with the music.
It does. Miligram picking up quite a few perfects over on his side. BOGO got a miss. See if that's enough for Miligram to catch up to him.
And he takes it.
Oh, and got a
28 EX difference.
1-5-7-3 from BOGO's side. He's going to take the song win, match win for that.
Yeah, 38 and 2 misses. So that's
So you got buy one, get one miss that time.
minus 44 from Max.
And buy one, get one song win.
Yeah, buy one, get one, win.
I know it looks like, DANH having quite the run today, moving up in pools. Was kind of struggling in the last set, so hopefully he's been able to recover. And looks like he's stretching his leg out right now because I was giving him some issues during the one song. But looking at what's coming up, we got an 18 right off the bat, so that will be interesting. First time challenge, no less, which the ending of that song is quite the stamina check.
Oh yeah, pretty much just like, I don't even what, like, I'm not even sure what you would call them, but it's like this like
Dishwasher.
pattern. Yeah, dishwasher.
Washing machine.
Yeah. Yeah, basically just like really fast 24th per section for like.
Yeah, it's kind of like
measures.
continuous candles.
Yeah. Other than that, like a very accessible 18 if you're looking for like 18 clears.
Yeah, although the ending
Just
is
have to-
really rough, but
Yeah.
if you can get to there and then just don't give up. But I mean, that's easier to say than to do. Kind of interesting order of this. We have First Time Challenge first, then followed by Inner Spirit, which is, I'd consider Inner Spirit probably like an entry-level 15. So interesting to start with probably the hardest song of the bunch, and then shift gears down. Might be a little rougher for competitors to kind of start with the 18 right off the bat, but
Yeah,
gotta
I think.
play by the card draw.
Yeah. I mean, BOGO's probably just picking uppers into Dan. Probably seeing that Dan's was exhausted in previous matches, trying to take advantage of it, and also just like a natural skill set thing anyway. BOGO is just known for uppers.
Oh, definitely. Interesting to see he has a better score on the challenge chart than the 15. All right, so this chart's going to have some gimmicks in it, which I imagine both these players know pretty well, but really the hallmark of it is that ending run at the very end of the song.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, first time by Metal Stepper. We have two Metal Steppers on our hand over here. That's a really cool song to listen to the steps to.
Look at all those combos.
Ooh, and Dan looks like he's getting that leg cramp again.
Listen to the music. Follow the beat. Come on.
Ooh, someone get him a Theragun. I know I saw a few of those floating around. Yeah, you hate to see that. I know we saw some leg cramps in some other notable tournaments in the past.
Yeah.
One of those things, again, you got to do your best to prepare, but those things, you can't really prepare for a cramp. You can do your best to be as hydrated and full of electrolytes as you can be, but sometimes they just happen.
Yeah.
And it sucks when they do.
You could also just be conserving energy to play the last two songs and see if you can just win on easier songs.
True.
Just by throwing first time and not even like wasting any energy on it. But that also means you are playing from 0-1 to try and win the set.
Very true.
And, BOGO's still pretty good at lowers,
Absolutely.
to call them lowers, I guess, is kind of silly, but
Right.
when we're talking about 15s to 18s, I guess, the lowers in air quotes. But yeah, we see a 17 PFC PB for BOGO and a 49 for Dan, but that Dan score is probably just a little bit dated.
Yeah, you can see Dan is shaking his leg out right now, trying to do everything to really get that leg working for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, really unfortunate for him, but he's had a hell of a run. It's been really entertaining to watch him move up today through all his matches and pools. Oh, don't want to break any more arrows again. The song has what I like to call the Seinfeld bass in it. Little twangy slap bass. And then
Dead even at the first part.
yeah. Got that Black Lolita synth in the background as well. Okay, very neck and neck. BOGO just ever so slightly ahead. Ooh, Dan up by 1.
You're the one they came to see.
Ooh, and they're tied halfway through. Yeah, it's one of those songs where being so straightforward, you really can't afford to make any mistakes in something like this. Still tied. Ooh, this is gonna be a close one, folks. Looking very focused throughout this. DANH with a very slight lead over BOGO right now.
4EX.
I feel like I'm holding my breath. Oh, Dan's gonna
wow,
take that
Dan
one!
takes it.
4EX lead from Dan.
Ooh, 14-1.
Really, really good performance.
-16 and a -20. And
Hopefully
wow, we move on.
Dan's calling Era and the TO over to the machine.
He's conceding.
It looks like he might be conceding. We're just getting confirmation. But
yeah,
give it up for DANH. He put on a hell of a show today, moving up from his previous pool. Huge, huge mad props to him. Yeah, he was saying he felt his legs starting to pull during that song, and he didn't want to risk it. So really, really commendable from him.
I mean, still
safety first, health first. You know, if you feel that cramp starting and you know it's kind of just like in the background, you don't want to push it. So
unbelievable, still putting up like -18 despite all of that. That's like really, really good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge props to him.
We might have 3-1-2s by the looks of it. So there's a chance for that. If not, if Kitsunny wins, she could for sure move on with BOGO.
Okay.
If not, it's going to be a 3-way tie at 1-2. And then it's going to go down to pool percentage points.
Okay, but we do have our next card draw up for our two competitors, Miligram and Kitsunny, taking a selfie together before they get started here. Love to see it. But they're going to get started with Dopamine Experts. Looks like that was Milligram's Protect. And then Kitsunny protected History of the Future Experts. So we got two 17s back-to-back to get them started.
We also have a Philly showdown on our hands, by the way.
Oh, we do. These both Team Philly, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Dopamine, one of those charts with the one part that just speeds up really, really fast, and the rest of the chart is just between 100 and 200.
Yeah, so I have to imagine both these players obviously very comfortable with the song. They're probably going to read it at the 200 BPM, and I'm sure they just have that speed up memorized.
And then
Got some stretching going on over on the machine. Don't want any more leg cramps happening.
both players sporting either a PFC or a very, very good
close.
GFC on this chart.
Yeah, So hopefully they remember how that little speed up goes. But Team Philly's going to hug it out before their match. Love to see the friendship and camaraderie. Dopamine, one of the neurotransmitter songs from UEG, arguably one of the better neurotransmitter songs. I think Dopamine's pretty universally liked, at least as far as songs go. But definitely some tricky bits in here. Looks like Miligram already picked up a couple grades early on. But they're neck and neck to begin. Milligram's actually slightly ahead of Kitsunny so far. But did get a miss over on their side. Now they are tied up as we move into the slowdown. Here's that speed up happening. Both of them looks like they got a miss during part of that, but otherwise still neck and neck. Okay, Kitsunny up 2. Still very close. Kitsunny is getting a little bit more of a lead over Miligram. Kitsunny up by about 15 now.
There's still a few greats in that last part.
Miligram very, very close. Oh, I think they're tied up again.
Yeah. Going into the very end, which definitely picks up.
Oh, Kitsunny picked up the lead again. They're trading back and forth on this. Now Miligram in the lead. We'll see if they can hold on to the end. Milligram's gonna take that!
Wow! Very clean run for Miligram at the very end. Wow.
Yeah, that clean run just really saved them. I didn't give Kitsunny any ground to make up whatsoever.
I'm pretty sure that's what Miligram was practicing at the very beginning right there. That, like, just having those bursts. I think that's actually what mattered, is like practicing those bursts at the very end.
Absolutely.
I know when I played this chart, I always like gas out at the end. So that ending run is just very, very crucial.
Definitely.
And Miligram showing what just a little bit of runs mentally and like physically actually do to prepare to play the chart, and how it ended up paying dividends for Miligram.
Yeah. And then we have another pretty tricky 17. Second half of History of the Future notably is pretty difficult. A lot of foot speed involved in the second half. So Kitsunny showing a 995 on this. Not sure if that's Milligram's up-to-date score or not, since we're on Ace 2 plus. I do love the background music, or background video for this song. So emblematic of just GR progressing through the future. Alright, so this match is a test of foot speed. Miligram with a little bit of a lead over Kitsunny so far. And these crossovers here, very quick crossovers. Okay, Miligram still with a little bit of a lead. It looks like up 4 EX at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, Kitsunny's catching up. Oh my god, these players are so close. Ooh, Milligram's up 3.
There's also difficulty ramps in the 17 too.
Definitely. The ending is going to get really hard. We'll see if they can dial it in. Oh, and that was so crisp. Milligram's still with the lead. We'll see if he can hold on to it throughout the end. fast over on his side, but he still has the lead for now. Oh, and he's going to take that
one. Within 10, just a 9 EX difference.
These songs were so close.
And that is a 3-way tie now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a 3-way tie now. And in fact, I think the 0-2 means that pool points are probably very close.
This tournament is stacked, y'all. We have them hugging it out on the pad. Dude, give it up for both these players. What a hell of a show. Got some cheers for Mia from the crowd. Love to see it. Real good job from both of them.
Oh
That
yeah,
was so exciting.
Okay, so Miligram advances. They have just a 1.33 pool percentage.
Okay.